looking at the second, we have Tone. After taking some little pounding and 1 or 2 fouls, finally got out on a foul bound off one of the spectators' knees. W.D. Andrews went out on 3 strikes, and there's 2 of our unusual, plays of note, right there in the first 2 strikers in this inning. Huntington made his first on a short ground ball missed by Whittlesey, who's the shortstop. And this is where it gets interesting. Hines is our third baseman, and the reason I've placed Hines here is because it says Hines, backing up second, fielded the ball poorly. Where am I? To Putnam, who's our first baseman. So normally, the way we would play it, the third baseman, particularly if your team is playing, you've got to be within a foot of the bag. There's no possible way that a guy who's playing 1 step off of third base is in any kind of position to be backing up anything at second. It makes sense that he's going to be over here and be in a position to back up if this guy is playing, as Chadwick suggests, up in this triangle, because he's not back there to make those plays. He's up here to cover all this short stuff here. So this is something, to be honest with you, and part of it's because in our interpretations, no clubs anywhere in the country are using the old-style batting stances. And I think that's something we, need to start at least experimenting with. And we're probably all using balls that are possibly slightly on the, lively side, because I think there's just a lot more short balls, which is why you would have a guy playing up here. There'd have to be a lot of action up here to justify having the guy up there. I know that if you try to play with some of the balls that you see clubs playing with, the guys using modern stances and stuff, the guy standing here is going to get himself killed, Yeah. That should just be brutal, So this suggests that there's something that we're all sort of getting wrong, some things we're all still getting wrong, in terms of our interpretation. Yeah.
And when Daly is responsible for 3 outs, or for 0 outs and scores 5 runs?
Correct.
He's causing other people to be tossed out on other bases?
No, that's not the way to look at it. The way to look at it is he's doing a good job of getting around the bases and getting home. He's one of the guys, by the way, who's stealing bases.
Okay.
Both teams have a couple of guys who steal bases. So he's taking advantage of pass balls. He's stealing bases. He's getting himself around the base path and scoring. The other guys, not so much. If I was playing, I'd be one of these guys. Back it. He's my guy.
Okay, thanks.
The B, what's the reference for the B behind the position?
Second base.
Second base, first base.
Umpire was the first one that they chose. It was important. It had to be somebody who knew the rules, knew what the game was about. The authority, he's given absolute authority in the 17th rule. All disputes and differences relative to the game to be decided by the umpire, from which there is no appeal. If you're going to be an umpire, you have to be prepared in several ways. First way, of course, is you should look like an umpire. You should have some kind of period dress that represents the area that you're umpiring. It's the later game.
Why are you there? Are you there for the competition? Are you there to split the difference on the rules, or are you there just to recreate the game? And so that it depends. And sometimes some of those things are more important than others.
And if what you say, about saying something to them, yes, you do sometimes, without the penalty, because especially if you have a crowd of people watching. They don't want to see this guy stand there like this with the 20 pitches that I just threw. They want to see something happen. They're going to walk away. You should be off to the side so that you can see the pitches, but you should really line yourself up. You're right there. You can tell. Especially for foul fair hit. When you umpire for a while, you start to just watch it, and as soon as the ball's hit, my eyes go down there. And I got a lot of times when they say, why did I that was fair, well, that was foul, you know. Most of the time I can go, there's the mark of the ball. Because I watched it, and you can see a little mark there. Gets erased when a run scores. Look right at that at bat. You can usually see where it hits when it's close by, if you're watching. And I can show him. There it is, right there, the mark. And if you umpire a bunch, you get in the habit. You can see that.